Right, good morning everyone. Thank you all for coming. I feel bad interrupting all your discussions because that's obviously half the point of being here. But yeah, thank you for taking the time to come. This is, in some sense, a bit of an experiment. This is the first time we've run something like this with mbed, with bringing partners from all different companies. So we're very interested to see how it goes, and we're hoping you get a lot from it. But yeah, we've had a lot more people than we were expecting come. So we've had to upgrade the size of the room a couple of times already. So it's really great to see so many people taking the time. So thank you for that. There's one bit of housekeeping, which is the toilets. If you go out of this room to the glass doors where you came in, they're around to the left, so you should be able to find them there. Is that okay with the sound?
Yeah. Where's the main? This one right here? Yeah. Trying to get some of that noise out.
So before going into the agenda of what I wanted to talk today, I kind of wanted to use two things to set the scene. We're all part of this industry, and I kind of wanted to remind you that of this sort of thinking, that we're all, technology that we're building is pretty magic, and to a lot of people this is very foreign. So we're kind of behind the curtain. A lot of us have been developing these sorts of technologies for the last 10 years. We understand a lot of this area, and we understand the potential that the kind of technology that we've been developing can bring. So obviously a lot of the theme that we're talking about today is the area of Internet of Things, embedded intelligence and things like that. But just to set the feel for this, remember we are incredibly connected with this sort of technology and how it's being developed, what the potential of it is. It's very easy to forget that. So a lot of people don't understand the implications, they don't understand why now, and we're in a very unique position to understand this industry and where it might be going. So I thought this was a nice quote. But the second one I want to is this one. So this is in 1957, promising 10 years away, the flying cars. So the counter to us knowing everything about this technology in the industry is we're often very ignorant to the realities of how this technology might end up being used. And I think that's the flip side of what I want to take going through today. Is although we know a lot of stuff, we're in some sense we're one of the best set of people in the industry to understand this market. At the same time, we're very ignorant to the realities of how this is going to be used in the industries this is going to be used in, this technology that we're developing. I hope that makes sense, and hopefully you'll pick up on this throughout today. But I think it's an important thing to remember of how this is not just about our technology, but understanding a lot of other industries and the domains that they work in, or allowing them to understand the technology that we're developing. So the basic agenda that we're going to run through today is to give you a bit of an insight into the mission that we're setting mbed. We started it a few years ago, and it's developed a lot, and we've learned a lot. So I wanted to sort of bring everyone into alignment with where we think this might be going. And this is subject to change. We're inventing it as we're going along in some respects. But I think it's important that everyone gets a feel for fundamentally what we think we're doing here. I also want to spend some time introducing the team. So the idea of getting everyone together from all the companies that are starting to want to be involved in this project is actually to bring everyone together to really understand that. And I want to just take some time to introduce the people that we brought in the room from our team. So hopefully throughout the day you can spend some time talking to them, telling them your wishes, your woes, your problems. Then we'll have a break, so a 30-minute break. I'd encourage you all to try and talk to each other. As I said, that's half the point of being here. There's a lot of interesting companies here, a lot more than we were expecting, which is great. So really, don't spend time with the people that you perhaps know. Perhaps spend some time with the people that you don't know. There'll be half an hour break there. We're then going to spend some time going through the platform that we're building and the sort of tools that we're building and some of the philosophies behind that, some of the technology behind that. We'll go through basically 3 separate talks, and this will be by the people who are actually developing this technology. So this is not necessarily the best marketing guys on the planet, but these are the guys actually building this stuff. So I want you to understand that and use the opportunity to understand what they're doing and go and talk to them afterwards. We then have lunch. We've got quite a long lunch break. We've set it as an hour and a half. We're doing a cooked lunch in the restaurant, and again try and use that to meet the other people here and spend some time. We'll then switch into the second phase, which is actually talking specifically about connectivity. So one of the things you'll learn is we're very focused on the opportunities in IoT and how we can enable you and industries in the world to be very successful in this market. So we wanted to talk through some of the key technologies that we're trying to enable and we think might be interesting to you. 30-minute break, and then we're going to talk a little bit about ecosystem and engagement. So this is partly how we want you to engage with us, but also to find out a bit more about what you think you can get out of what we're doing and how that might influence the project over the next couple of years. We'll also try and run an open panel. I think there's even some technology to try and run a Q&A using some wireless technology. But we'll see how this goes, but this is effectively, with this many people, we think an open panel might be the best way for people to talk about the ideas where they think this should go, questions you have about what we've talked about, and any other subjects that we think might be worth bringing up. So as we go throughout the day, we will take Q&A on some of these sessions, but do note down if you've got any particular ideas, particular directions you think there's opportunities here, or any particular questions, things you don't understand, take a note and we'll try and spend some time at the end about those things. And then afterwards, we've booked a bar in Sunnyvale. Again, there'll be some drinks and some food, I'm sure. And again, this is another chance that hopefully we can spend some more time together. Just out of interest, how many people are thinking of coming to this? There's a very fast hand there. Okay, so it's about 50–60% people. Yeah, so we'll be heading over there for about. This should finish about 5:30, depending on how on time we run. And we'll head over there about 6 o'clock, and we can stay there as long as we want. We've got the place booked out, so we can spend some time there, and hopefully you would have found a few people you want to go and grab hold of and speak to. Okay, so to start off, obviously we're going to be spending the day very much talking about mbed, but what I wanted to do was start with just a slight step back and talk about ARM's perspective on embedded intelligence and IoT. So I'd like to invite John Cornish just to give you a brief introduction from the point of view of ARM and how this fits in.
Right. Thanks very much, Simon, and welcome everybody. Thank you for coming today. My name's John Cornish.
You think it would be possible to get the volume up a little in your bit part?
Okay.
Closer. Okay. Pull a little bit closer to you.
Oh, a bit closer. Is that better?
No.
No?
No.
How's that? Is there too much noise?
You're getting
Too much.
much of background noise. You need to hit the microphone part. That's the amplifier one.
Yes. That's the reverb.
You put some reverb on.
Testing.
No, that's not it.
Is that better?
No, it's the same.
No?
Try putting it a bit closer.
Okay.
Maybe.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to have to hold myself suitably close to the microphone. So, my name's John Cornish. I'm the General Manager for the System Design Division. I've been a long time supporter of mbed and the work that Simon and his team have been doing. And so, as Simon said, I'd like to just talk with you about a little bit of history, ARM's approach to partnership, why ARM has been successful, and why we think we can be very successful in this Internet of Things domain. First of all, if we look at mobile, the ARM partnership is what we have always called our ecosystem of licensees, complementers, and indeed even end OEMs who make use of the ARM architecture. And if you look at the revolution that has taken place, we're all very familiar with this. On the left there you can see the brick, the Motorola Dynatac, I think it was called, which of course Michael Douglas used in the movie Wall Street. And what's happened? Well, over the intervening 23 years, of course, a revolution has taken place. And what's great is that it's continuing to take place. We all saw Apple's announcement of the 5S a few weeks ago. So now 64-bit technology available in mobile, and all sorts of capabilities being added, particularly through connected devices that communicate with this Bluetooth access point that you walk around with every day. And that provides a fabulous platform for developing devices that then connect to it. And of course, we are familiar with our smartphones here in the developed world, but in the developing world, of course, they provide a fabulous window on the internet and provide the opportunity for people to become educated in ways that was never before possible. All of that has really stemmed from the partnership model that underpins ARM's business. So this is all about working together to achieve common ends. We don't pretend to deliver everything that's necessary. We offer certain ingredients, certain technologies. We work with you to improve and refine them. Historically, we've offered obviously CPUs, GPUs, physical IP, but of course the partnership is much more diverse and encompasses software, EDA, and all of the things that you need in order to assemble and build real working products. But what we can say with certainty is that the future won't be like today. I liked Simon's example of the flying family car. Nothing dates more quickly than our view of the future at any given time. However, the world as a whole is confronted by a set of challenges which, in fact, technology is the way in which we're going to solve. So, for example, the population is set to increase by 1/3 over the next 20 years. Our consumption of electricity, if unchecked, is going to increase by around 60%. And there are already many countries where water shortage is a fact of life today. And our opportunity is to use technology to mitigate and address these issues. We've got the ingenuity, the creativity to go and ensure that we're making more efficient use of energy. We are using water in an efficient way. And, oh my goodness, that would explain a lot, actually. Should I leave it like that?
It has to be on.
It has to be on, of course. So together we can solve these problems, and technology is going to form a key part of that. So let's look at what we've already achieved in terms of increased efficiency. So you could argue that moving from PCs to laptops and then on to tablets has reduced our energy consumption. A tablet uses about 1/6 the amount of electricity that a laptop does, so that's good, that's a result. If you look at infrastructure, well, using efficient servers and base stations, many hopefully based on ARM technology, we can reduce energy consumption by perhaps 40 or 50%. If you look at industrial uses, motor control, for example, electric motors are not particularly efficient, but if you control them using signal processors, using embedded intelligence, you can improve that by perhaps around another 50%. And then, of course, power generation and transmission. Probably 70% of our electricity is actually wasted in various ways between generation and consumption. So lots of opportunities. And, of course, people talk a lot about big data, but big data is fundamentally based on lots of small data. That means data from dispersed Internet of Things devices which are being used to monitor and control and optimize these systems. So fundamentally, I think IoT is about connecting the physical and the digital worlds, clearly. The evolution of wireless networks is something which you'll hear about more this morning. My colleague Zach Shelby, I think, is going to talk to you about 6LoWPAN and 802.15.4. And the great thing here is extending the network using IPv6 out to really small, low-cost, battery-powered end devices connected over intermittent connections, because of course, in order to achieve very long battery life, let's say 10 years off a coin cell, these devices need to be inactive most of the time, but just wake up periodically to communicate with that network. And of course, the cloud able to then process all of that information and make sensible decisions based upon it. So lots of opportunity. Now, of course, IoT is not really a new thing. We've had it in various forms for some time. Of course, classic M2M has been around for 10 or 15 years, vending machines that phone home to tell the supplier that they've run out of Diet Coke. That's been around for ages. But of course, new areas are now being opened up. So for example, the connected car. You can see here a car from a company called AutoNet, which is basically connecting ECUs of cars, enabling manufacturers to control and monitor them and add value-added services. There's an industry consortium in Europe called Enlight. This is a group focused on trying to optimize the next generation of LED lighting by embedding intelligence and having lights connected together. Lots of companies are part of that consortium, including Osram and Philips and NXP. Of course, we're all very familiar with Nest. This is Tony Fadell's company that has achieved significant success based around an intelligent home thermostat. Again, a very strong indication of where things are going in the future. And then finally, in the medical domain, I think this is a rather interesting example. This is a heart monitor, so basically able to transmit ECG information back to your clinician so that he can basically monitor your progress and, I suppose, if necessary, intervene and come and save your life. So examples of things going on today. I think the potential is obviously a huge explosion of devices in terms of numbers, in terms of scale, and to drive that scale, that means very low cost devices, and it means lots of innovation, lots of experimentation. I think one of the striking things is, again, going back to Simon's flying car. That is technically possible, but for a whole variety of economic and environmental reasons, we don't all own these things. And so what is possible and what in fact will resonate and be adopted are two quite different things. Clearly the second is a subset of the third. And in order to find those resonant frequencies, those form factors, those product offers, those formulations which are going to resonate with consumers, with businesses, you need to do a great deal of experimentation and prototyping. You need to try out a lot of things. And so as we look forward to being at the heart of the Internet of Things, our opportunity in terms of growing that is through a community, and that's why we have set up mbed. It's a project which is built on open standards. It's designed to foster innovation and experimentation. It's intended to offer great developer resources, and I'm sure the team here today are looking forward to your feedback based on what they present to you, and would very much like to engage with you and understand where you think the project should develop in the future. And of course, underpinning all of this is basically unlimited ambition, unlimited optimism about the ability of our technology, about the ability of ourselves to put together new and exciting applications. So with that, I'd just like to, again, welcome you to the event today. I hope you find it productive and useful. I hope you are able to join us later on this evening at the Firehouse, and in the interim, hopefully you'll get a lot out of the presentations and the interaction during the course of the day. Thank you very much.